I'm Rick Rollins, and this is Going Places. Hello, I'm Rick Rollins, and this is Going Places. And have we got a show planned for you? As always, it's with you in mind. Here's what's coming up today. We go to the movies with Alicia Stafford as she introduces us to the Eternals. We continue our one-on-one conversation with Dr. Del Toro as we shift into a higher gear. Our first stop, Jeffrey Huggins takes us to Zoo Tampa as he prepares to feed the baby manatees for the first time. Let Jeffrey do it. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you, Rick. Today we're at Zoo Tampa. We're at the David A. Straz Jr. Manatee Critical Care Center, and I'm here with Jamie today, and we're going to work with the young manatees, the manatee calves, and we're going to feed some of the parent manatees, as it were, right? Some adult manatees, and we're creating enrichments for them today, and you're going to tell us all about it, right?
Correct.
I'm here with Jamie today, and we are making formula for the manatee calves. And I hear that they have 4 calves here that they're working with, and they need a feeding every 4 hours.
That's correct.
And so this is the 10 a.m. feeding, so we're working on it.
All right, well,
What do we do?
So for our 4 calves, we have 3 calves that are on the same formula, which is what we call our full strength stock solution. So it's full of Elecare, which is a human baby formula. It's
Gotcha.
mixed with a lot of supplements, oils, proteins, things that are going to help our babies grow, which is our ultimate goal. We want them to grow, get healthy, so we can return them back to the wild. We tend to go pretty slow for our calves just to make sure that they're adjusting correctly. It is different than their mother's milk, but we've tried our best to recreate what they get fed, so we just take it slow.
That's great. And so now to get back out into the wild, they need to reach 600 pounds, am I right?
That is correct. So when an
Wow.
orphan calf comes in, we like them to be around the 600-pound weight range before they're released back into the wild.
Yeah.
That may seem like a lot of weight, but for a manatee calf, that's really attainable pretty quickly.
Wow.
Usually it takes about 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay.
Typical baby calves in the wild gain about 1 pound a day. So you can expect a 1-year-old calf to be anywhere from 300 to 400 pounds. A 2-year-old, in that 400 to 600 plus range. So
Wow.
we weigh our calves usually every 3 days. Sometimes our bigger calves get weighed weekly. And once they get on full strength formula, they're definitely progressing kind of like those wild trends. So we usually see about 1 pound a day, sometimes a little bit more.
Wow. And so they'll have a 1.5-year stay here at least, these calves.
So when orphan calves come into our critical care center, they're typically here for about 1.5 or 2 years, and usually right around the 600-pound range. So the reason being is that manatee calves in the wild, they'll stick with their mom for about that time frame, 1.5 to 2 years, before they kind of leave their mom and break away on their own. And they'll also nurse that entire time as well.
Wow. So that's a perfect segue then. So they're able to make that easy transition back into the wild because that's the time they would have spent nursing anyway.
Correct, and that's why we
Wow.
do that here. We're very hands-off here besides medical procedures. We want manatees to be around manatees, not rely on people. So the sooner we can get a little orphan calf in with other manatees to have companionship, act like a manatee, that's really our goal. And then to provide this wonderful formula, get them to start putting on the pounds, get healthier, and then get out as soon as possible so they can be a wild manatee.
Wow, that's super. So tell us then now what we're doing here. We're going to be filling the bottles and getting them ready for feeding.
That is correct. So we're gonna go ahead and prepare their bottles. First thing we want to do is get our warm water heating up. So if you can just click that on for me there, you just push the button. Perfect.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're gonna heat our bottles just like a human baby, needs warm bottles for it, as do our manatees. Their body temp is right around 98, 99 degrees, so we're gonna heat up our bottles accordingly. So
Wow.
what they're taking in is gonna be like what they could get from their mom. As you can see, it needs to be mixed up a little bit. All of our liquids have kind of
Sure, okay.
solidified, so if you want to go ahead and give it a whisk,
Oh, okay.
whisk it around.
It's like making eggs.
Exactly.
Scrambling my eggs there.
I'll do the same with mine. So for our stock solution, we use Elecare, which is, again, a human baby formula. It is right here. It's very hypoallergenic. It's very sensitive on tummies. So for a manatee adjusting to not its mother's milk, this helps the transition immensely. We've had great success using this as our formula.
Gotcha. And so now we pour them in the bottles?
So now we are going to pour, yes, so I can take that from you. Thank you. All right, so I'll pass along some baby bottles. Okay, there. All right, so we're going to put together multiple bottles.
Okay.
You
Bottle
wanna
assembly.
That's right, so you're just going to stick.
I haven't done this for a few years.
So you can take one from there.
Okay, right, and I put it in
Yep,
that
with
direction.
the, yep, exactly.
Okay.
And then you're going to do bottom side down.
Gotcha.
And then you're just going to twist it on nice and tight so we have no leakage.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Okay.
And we're going to do 2 more of those.
Okay. And then spilled and dropped. Yes.
You're doing great.
That's good.
You want to be the
Do a
first if
little
you
edge.
spilled.
Ah, good.
We'll top her off. Perfect.
Okay.
Great job as always, Jeffrey. I can't wait for part 2. They'll start calling you Dr. Doolittle. 1 week you're playing with Booches, now you're feeding the manatees. That's why we let Jeffrey do it. When we come back, Alicia Stafford takes us to the movies right after this. Stay with us. I'm going to look for a manatee.
Hi, I'm Rick Rollins and I need a favor. I need you to help me make sure that 100 of these stuffed animals are at the bedside of some young person who's fighting for their lives. Now, the proceeds from these bears will go to St. Jude's Hospital, but locally, these bears will go to Advent Health's Children's Hospital, and these will be their companions on the journey. They're going places. Won't you make sure that the rest of their friends do too? You can stop by K Jewelers or you can go to the website below. Our goal is 100. Let's surpass it. Thank you today.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life 1 cup at a time.
I'm Alicia Stanford. Let's go to the movies. There's a whole new group of heroes in the Marvel Universe. They may be the newest, but their legacy could be eternal. As the name indicates, this latest batch of Marvel heroes has been around for a long time, since the dawn of time. The Eternals, as they are called, are a diverse group of superheroes, each with their own talents and flaws, and they've been mostly observers on this planet.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
Led by Salma Hayek's Ajax, the group became tired of being bystanders, and after thousands of years together, were allowed to go their own way and mix and mingle with the humans. Now, in a post-Avenger world, the deviants they thought they'd eliminated are back, and things are looking pretty bleak.
This is what the end of the world looks like.
Yep. And that's why Icarus, Circe, Thena, Gilgamesh, Makari, Kingo, Phastos, Droog, and Sprite have banded together to discover what's causing it and perhaps try to fix it.
This planet and these people have changed me.
There's a lot of action in this film, which is what the fans want. But the first movie in what is likely to be a very popular franchise feels more like a television pilot. Director Chloe Zhao took on the tall task of introducing 10 characters and explaining their backstories. She does it deftly, but as a result, the movie ends up feeling quite long but shallow. Luckily, there is some humor and a bit of romance to keep the story rolling along. Eternals is the first Marvel film to really focus on diversity, not only in terms of race, but also sexual orientation, gender, and different abilities. And that really is heroic. I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's going on at the movies.
Wow. Now that's something we need to let Jeffrey do in the soon coming day. Alicia, great job as always. We're here at Skyway Beach today. You need to come out here. It's an interesting little hidden nook. I couldn't find it the first time myself. Kyle, I'm gonna get you for that sense of this. Let me tell you this about the Eternals. The Eternals scored $161.7 million in their first week, making them #1 globally. Going Places continues right after this. Stay with us as we continue our conversation and shift into our higher gear with Dr. Delatoro McNeil.
So that's what real style looks like. Ricardo's, West Shore Plaza.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. A place for you to come and share thoughts and spirit through a cup of coffee. Come and enjoy with us here at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Hi, I'm Rick Rollins, and I need a favor. I need you to help me make sure that 100 of these stuffed animals are at the bedside of some young person who's fighting for their lives. Now, the proceeds from these bears will go to St. Jude's Hospital, but locally, these bears will go to Advent Health's Children's Hospital, and these will be their companions on the journey. They're going places. Won't you make sure that the rest of their friends do too? You can stop by K Jewelers, or you can go to the website below. Our goal is 100. Let's surpass it. Thank you today.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. Recently, I had an opportunity to talk to Delatoro McNeil, Dr. Delatoro McNeil, life strategist, best-selling author, keynote speaker, crushing stages all around the country. We talked about him overcoming adversity and all of his highs as he continues to shift into a higher gear. This is a conversation you don't want to miss.
So let me stop you here. One of the things I hear you saying is that you were fortunate, you were blessed enough that you had the mentorship in the daytime, but you had leadership at home. Your mom was an amazing mentor as well.
That's right.
It's amazing when your mom can be a mentor.
Yes.
And maneuver
Right.
your success.
That's right. Absolutely.
So let's talk about that for a second. You talked about the people.
Right.
That
Yeah.
she had.
She made sure that I had positive people around me, and she supplemented whatever I did not have at the home.
So in other words, the village came into place.
Yep. Takes a village to raise a child. So she kept extended family around me, positive people. And my older brother Michael, I got to give him credit. Incredible big brother. He would always come and support me at football games.
Yes.
Anything I got involved in.
Even today, Michael is everywhere.
Everywhere, all the time.
Because he's proud of you,
Yeah.
as he should be.
Yeah.
And I know your mom's somewhere today going, Allie, Jesse, look.
That's right.
You know, but and so I think that the thing that you were fortunate to have that most young people don't is that they have either one or the other. Sometimes they don't have either.
Right.
So let's talk about the blessing that is to this day.
So for me, one of the things that I made a decision to do when I realized that there was a gift on my life, if you will, of receiving from mentors, because it started with my mom. Because people look at me now and they say, oh my gosh, you know, Bishop T.D. Jakes is a mentor. May he rest in peace. Dr. Miles Monroe was a mentor. You know, Zig Ziglar was a mentor of
Les
mine.
Brown.
Les Brown, Dr. Stephen Covey, Dr. Willie
And
John.
the list goes
Yeah,
on.
it's a long list, right? But those it started with Olivia, and then when I got to college, it went to a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lee Jones. I met him as a freshman at Florida State, and he had a bachelor's, 2 masters, and a PhD. He was 33 when I met him, and he was short. He wore a suit and a bow tie every day, and he walked fast.
Sounds like somebody I know. So Dr. Lee Jones was one of your mentors.
Absolutely. He groomed me in college. Because everybody wants to know, man, how the heck did you do this? I mean, I've given over 4,000 paid talks as a professional speaker. Paid talks. 4,000 paid talks all over the world. At the time of this recording, I'm 44. I've been in the industry 20 years full time.
Wow.
20 years full time. And so people wonder, like, how the heck did you do that? How are you like a living legend in the speaking industry and you're 44, you're not even 50, you've won almost every award there is to win in speaking? It started with the mentorship conversation. My mom mentored me as a parent.
Diane mentioned you,
Mr. Diane Williams mentored me as a teacher when I was in the 6th grade. And then, you know, the Rick Rollins of the world, the Derek Warrens, all these people stepped in to mentor, to coach. The Uncle Charlies, and, you know, stepped in to mentor. The Arthur T. Jones of the world, stepped in. They stepped in to mentor and add value along the way, right? And then when I get to college, it was the Dr. Brenda Spencers who and the Dr. Lee Joneses who took me under their wing at Florida State and cultivated this gift. And they said, listen, you have a gift, you should join Toastmasters. So I joined Toastmasters in college as a college student. And I learned the ropes and I learned how to maneuver. And I made a decision that I was going to master in instructional design, curriculum design, which I'd never really, to be honest with you, I'd never heard of a lot of African Americans who had gotten degrees in curriculum design. And so it was something different for me, but I knew I would be able to use it in speaking and training and development. And that's exactly what we did.
Hi, I'm Rick Rollins and I need a favor. I need you to help me make sure that 100 of these stuffed animals are at the bedside of some young person who's fighting for their lives. Now, the proceeds from these bears will go to St. Jude's Hospital, but locally, these bears will go to Advent Health's Children's Hospital, and these will be their companions on the journey. They're going places. Won't you make sure that the rest of their friends do too? You can stop by K Jewelers or you can go to the website below. Our goal is 100. Let's surpass it. Thank you today.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
So that's what real style looks like. Ricardo's West Shore Plaza. let me stop you because you're getting ahead of here. What is curriculum and instructional design?
Right. What is instructional systems is the systematic designing of training and instruction that's learner-based.
Wow.
And it's actually the same curriculum design used in the military. So the military trains all of their staff, their team, their leadership, their soldiers. They train them using instructional design curriculum content. So I majored in that so that way I could go into corporations, associations, and create training and development programs. But as a speaker, I brought instructional design to the speaking world. So now my keynotes aren't just rah-rah. They're high content, high energy experiences that we create for audiences. Our training programs, our Full Throttle 4-day conference, Crush the Stage, our 3-day speaker training bootcamp. So training and development has been a part of the fabric of who I am since Florida State. And I've woven training and development into everything I do. So whether it's podcasting, our podcast is called Crushing Life with Del Toro, or whether it's books, or whatever we do, even our reality television show,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to,
right?
Don't jump ahead of me.
It's designed, but it's instructionally designed so that people actually learn something as they're experiencing it. Because I believe in edutainment. I think you should educate and entertain at the same time.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And speak. So we're going to transition because, see, you don't let anybody who talks sit as a guest because we're going to go to transition into this. Okay. It is called Going Places with Rick Rollins people. No, but anyway, I can't think of anybody else I would rather. So look at this. There's a new book out, and it is called Shift into a Higher Gear.
Yes, sir.
This is book number
8.
Okay, 8 books.
Yes, sir.
44 years old. You did the first one, 101 Gems.
101 Gems of Greatness, inspired by.
I did. I can take some credit.
That's right. Yes, you
okay,
can.
But no.
Yes, I share that all the time.
Yeah,
so
you do.
your ears burn.
Yes, they do.
I talk about you all the time.
And see, that's one of the things that I love about you is that and that's why I wanted to do this. I was insistent that we do this because you're one of those people who give and give and give. Del Toro is one of my favorite style clients. He on the cover of the book. I dressed you for that. I've dressed you for other things.
Magazine cover.
The magazine cover. Yeah. So there it is. So we want to talk about the new book. Let's we've talked about how you got here.
Right.
For somebody that doesn't understand where here is,
Yeah.
It is the new book.
Yes.
It is shift into a higher gear. How do we begin to do that? Let's break that down.
So one of the things I love about this new book, so this is book number 8. 8's my favorite number. 8 stands for new beginnings, abundance, balance. It also stands for infinity because when you write the number 8, you can't tell where it starts and finishes. So it's this ongoing betterment process. And that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about the book. Every single chapter in the book starts with the action verb shift. And the whole notion is this, Rick. I believe it's the small things that make the big difference.
As long as shift happens.
As long as shift happens. Come on, somebody. That's right.
Yeah, it is.
And so Rick, you know this. For the last 7 years, I've done an annual conference called the Full Throttle Experience. And I actually teach about 35 different lessons that I've learned from about life and business with my motorcycle live on stage. So
by the way, Del Toro loves motorcycles. In fact, we were at the Harley dealership when we did this.
Yes.
The cover, and then of course they did their art to it. But he loves motorcycles. He knows about motorcycles, so it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And I would even say that when you take something you love and you learn the lesson from what you love,
come on, somebody.
You live.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's it.
Okay, if that ends up in the book, I'm kidding. But go ahead.
But you know what's funny, Rick? So the word shift is defined as to move or cause to move from one place to another, especially over a small distance. Another definition of shift is a slight change in tendency, thought, action, attitude. So the whole concept of the book is it's the small things that make the big difference. And I think we can make small shifts that'll have an incredible outcome in our lives personally and professionally. So I dedicated 12 chapters of this book to help people make small shifts that will transform their business, transform their lives, transform their relationships. For example, one shift that I just want to give all of our viewers and listeners right now that I think is powerful. How many times, Rick, in a typical day, do you look at all the stuff that you got to do? You say, man, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. One simple shift that will change everything in your attitude and in your execution. Shift from I have to I get to.
Wow.
Just think about that for
Wow,
2 seconds,
wow,
Rick.
wow, wow, wow.
What if you say,
Oh my.
instead of saying, I have to go pick up the kids at 3:30, I get to go pick up my children.
Wow. Cal, that's a new way for you to think about going to pick up Rowan.
Right,
That's
right.
it. But that is the truth. Wow,
I
I
have to go to the gym I get to
go
to keep my body in shape, and my older self will thank me for this later.
Kyle.
Come on,
Kyle, I'm
somebody.
talking to Kyle. Y'all don't ever get to see Kyle. One of these days y'all gonna see Kyle on camera. But did you just get that? Did you just get that, Kyle?
One shift.
I mean,
one
my
small
God.
shift.
Oh my God.
I have to make love to my partner. No,
I get to make money.
Yeah,
I have a partner to make love to.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't, we do understand. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna go there.
I
But
get to express my love for the
Wow.
person that I care about.
Wow.
I have to make dinner. I get to
get to make
provide
money.
a nutritious meal for my family.
Wow.
One word can
Wow.
shift and make. Because here's the thing:
Wow.
big trucks roll on small tires. Big doors
did you
swing
wait?
on
Hold
little
on.
hinges.
Did you get that? Did you get that? Oh my God. Okay.
Big things, it's the small things that make the big difference. Think about it. Billion-dollar companies merge in a small boardroom with 8 people.
Again, 8.
Come on, there you go, right?
Wow.
Does that make
Wow.
sense? Huge forests start off with small acorns. It's the small things that make
my
the
God.
big difference.
Wow.
At 211 degrees, you got hot water. 1 degree difference, you got steam. Steam powers cruise ships, steam powers locomotives. 1 degree makes all the difference. It's the small things that make the big difference in our life. So how can you make a small shift? Adding 1 extra bottle of water, adding 1 new supplement to your supplement stack, taking ashwagandha, taking turmeric, taking elderberry, taking oil of oregano. How do you add 1 extra thing to what you're doing? Because I say this all the time, Rick, there's no traffic on the extra mile.
As always, we thank you for joining us this week. But before we go, of course, we'll be back next week with more interesting people and more interesting places, and we continue our conversation with Dr. Delatoro O'Neill. But here's a special note to our own Kyle and Melinda, who got married over the weekend. Congratulations. I hope that the 2 of you and Rowan will have a life filled with adventures as you go places together. And to our own Kathy Thomas, happy birthday, Diva. We love you. For everyone here at Going Places, remember, we're always going places, and we want you to come along. We'll see you next week. Take care.